The following morning, Noah kneels respectfully before the Emperor. The Emperor explains that the rebels who attacked recently were planning to kidnap Noah and use him as a bargaining chip against the Empire. Hearing this, Noah quietly thinks about the situation. Something about the explanation feels strange to him. If the rebels truly confess that easily, then there must be parts of the story they are hiding. Noah calmly tells the Emperor that he believes the rebels are lying about something. To his surprise, the Emperor simply nods and admits that Noah is correct. However, he tells him not to worry. The Empire has its own ways of confirming the truth from prisoners, and by that he means torture. Noah doesn't know much about torture methods, so he simply accepts his father's words and decides not to question it further. Putting that matter aside, the Emperor then begins praising Noah for something else entirely. He congratulates Noah for coming up with the clever idea of buying up all the horse feed in the region. By doing this, Noah effectively crippled the rebels' transportation and movement. When Noah hears this, he is shocked. He had only made the decision to purchase the horse feed not long ago, so how did the Emperor find out so quickly? The Emperor simply steps forward and pats Noah on the shoulder. He tells him that both Noah's intelligence and his ability to act quickly are impressive qualities. These are the clear signs of someone who will one day become a great leader. Noah blushes slightly from the praise and thanks the Emperor respectfully. Seeing this, the Emperor decides that Noah deserves a reward. After thinking for a moment, he makes a surprising announcement. He declares that Noah will be granted the right to add a sword to his family crest. The moment Noah hears this, his eyes widen in shock. In the Empire, adding a sword to one's crest is considered one of the greatest honors possible. Normally, doing something like that without the Emperor's permission would be treated as sacrilege and could even lead to execution. But when the Emperor himself grants permission, it becomes a symbol of special recognition and honor. Feeling deeply moved, Noah bows his head and thanks the Emperor with sincere gratitude. Later that day, Noah meets with Byron to receive an update on the horse feed operation. After discussing the progress, Byron brings up an important name: Karun, the leader of the rebel forces. According to Byron, Karun is an extremely stubborn and determined man who will do anything to achieve his goals. Byron believes Noah is capable of handling him, but he still warns him to be cautious. Noah senses that Byron might be hinting at something deeper, but before he can ask further questions, a maid suddenly enters the room. She reports that a wounded soldier has arrived at the main gate and claims he has urgent news for Noah. Without wasting any time, Noah heads to the gate. There, he finds a badly injured soldier kneeling before him. The soldier introduces himself and explains that he came directly from Almeria. According to him, several commanders in the region have started a rebellion. He explains that he personally refused to join the uprising and instead risked his life to travel here and deliver this warning to Noah. Byron quickly realizes that this information isn't particularly useful, since Noah already knows about the rebellion. However, Noah still thanks the soldier sincerely. He orders the maids to take the injured man inside and give him proper treatment. On top of that, Noah rewards the soldier with 1,000 ren for delivering the message. Afterward, Noah calmly walks away. Confused, Byron follows him and asks why he gave such a large reward for information that wasn't even necessary. Noah explains his reasoning calmly. Even though the information wasn't useful, the fact that a simple soldier risked his life to report directly to him shows true loyalty. Loyalty like that deserves to be recognized and rewarded. Hearing this, Byron begins to understand Noah's way of thinking as a leader. Later that evening, Noah is busy working through paperwork in his office when Zoe nervously enters the room. She tells him that earlier that day, a stranger offered her 500 ren to secretly give Noah a drink that contained a sleeping drug. The moment Noah hears this, he immediately understands the rebels' plan. They intend to drug him, abduct him, and use him as a hostage. Even so, he is still surprised they would go to such lengths. Noah then asks Zoe an important question. Why did she come to him instead of accepting the money? Zoe quickly shakes her head and says she would never betray him, especially not after everything Noah has done to help her mother. Hearing this, Noah quietly writes something on a check and hands it to her. It is a reward of 5,000 ren. She deserves 10 times that amount for her loyalty. Zoe is shocked by the amount and tries to refuse, saying it's far too much. But Noah insists. In his eyes, loyalty should always be rewarded. With tears in her eyes, Zoe bows deeply and thanks him again and again. However, Noah isn't finished yet. He tells Zoe that he has another request for her. Noah explains his plan. He intends to drink the drug on purpose and pretend to fall asleep. Once he is captured, Zoe must allow the kidnappers to take him away, but after they leave, she must run away and hide immediately. Noah knows that if she stays around, the rebels might try to silence her. Even though the plan is extremely dangerous, Zoe agrees to help him. Later that night, the plan is carried out. When Noah wakes up, he finds himself tied up in the back of a moving wagon. Fortunately for him, the kidnappers made a huge mistake. They failed to take away his Leviathan ring. Using the ring, Noah quickly cuts the ropes binding his hands and feet. After freeing himself, he asks Leviathan to show him the memories of what happened after he lost consciousness. Through these memories, he sees exactly how the rebels infiltrated the mansion and abducted him. Now fully aware of the situation, Noah decides it is time to act. When the rebels notice him standing up in the wagon, they don't take him seriously. After all, they believe he is just a helpless child. But the moment one of them approaches, Noah instantly draws the Leviathan and cuts him down. For a brief moment, the other bandits freeze in shock. Then they rush him together, believing their numbers will give them the advantage. But Noah completely overwhelms them. Within moments, every last one of them is defeated. Shortly after the fight ends, Zoe arrives with a search party. When Noah sees her, he immediately scolds her for coming out to find him when he specifically told her to hide. Zoe lowers her head and apologizes. She explains that she was too worried about him to stay hidden. Seeing her sincerity, Noah sighs and forgives her, though he warns her not to do something so reckless again. As the soldiers begin collecting the bodies, one of them reaches for a dagger lying on the ground. Suddenly Noah shouts at him to stop. He orders everyone to step back. Walking closer, Noah examines the dagger carefully. He can sense an intense amount of malicious energy coming from it. He quickly realizes that the weapon is cursed with deep hatred by its previous owner. Judging from the energy it carries, Noah suspects that it once belonged to the leader of the rebels. Using Leviathan, Noah focuses on the dagger's lingering energy signature. Then he launches a long-range attack that travels across vast distances, tracking the rebel leader's presence. In an instant, the attack reaches its target and kills the rebel leader on the spot. The rebellion is effectively over. The next day, Noah meets with the Emperor once again. The Emperor praises Noah for accomplishing such an incredible feat, something very few people could ever do. With the rebel leader dead, the rebel forces quickly collapse. Prince Henry soon suppresses the remaining rebels, and everyone involved in the uprising is arrested. Now it is time for judgment. After reviewing the case, the Emperor initially decides that the traitors should be drawn and quartered. The court celebrates this decision, believing it to be a fitting punishment, but suddenly Noah steps forward. He respectfully tells the Emperor that this may not be the wisest decision. The entire courtroom falls silent. Noah explains that the punishment must follow imperial law exactly. According to the law, the leaders of the rebellion must be cut in half at the waist, while the participants must be hanged. If the Emperor were to ignore his own laws, it could weaken the authority of the empire itself. After hearing this reasoning, the Emperor realizes Noah is correct. He immediately revises his judgment and orders that the traitors be punished strictly according to imperial law. Impressed by Noah's wisdom and courage, the Emperor decides to grant him a special title. From this day forward, Noah will be known as the Wise Prince. This is an unprecedented honor, something that has never been given before. The court erupts into cheers as Noah's new title spreads throughout the empire. Not long after, the Emperor reminds Noah that the upcoming knight selection exam is approaching. When asked how he plans to evaluate the candidates, Noah demonstrates his idea. Using his protection ring, he blocks water thrown at him by servants. During the exam, the candidates will attack him in a similar way, allowing him to judge their strength, control, and potential. The Emperor is impressed by the creativity of the method, though he warns that it could be dangerous if someone powerful breaks through Noah's defenses. Noah calmly reassures him that he has already prepared countermeasures. That night, the Emperor meets privately with the Prime Minister, Noel. Inside the inner chamber, he orders a servant to bring out the true seal of Leviathan. For generations, it has been said that this seal must never be broken. But after witnessing Noah's incredible talent and potential, the Emperor begins to wonder, what would happen if the seal of Leviathan were finally broken? And what kind of power might Noah awaken if that day ever comes?